There are hundreds, if not possibly thousands, of Thomas characters. Across the nearly 80 years of this franchise's existence, so many characters have come and gone over the years. The majority of which have appeared in the main TV series, or at the very least in the Relay series book. But there are some that have only appeared in the most brief instances, in magazines. These characters, I refer to them as the magazine-onlys. The magazine-only characters are ones that I have covered before, and that video did super well, and there are way more than just the ones I covered in that video. So I think it's time we shed some light on some more of these oddities, shall we? Let's dive in. The Bright Truck is a character that has a very simple backstory. Before being known as the Bright Truck, he was known as the Old Truck, as he was left out of service for some time and was overturned on Thomas's branch line. This led to him becoming depressed. Eventually, after some interactions with Thomas and Terrence, the truck was restored and brightened up with some flowers and bright vibrant paint to decorate a station. The Bright Truck is now happy, and his joy often spreads to those at the station. Pretty cool. These two characters are referred to as Edward's friends in the story Chiff Chaff. Edward is struggling up the hill and making Chiff Chaff noises, whatever that means. And Diesel makes his usual scrap remarks before being scolded by Topham. Eventually, Topham has Edward sent to a workshop on the mainland for a full overhaul. While Edward is there, he meets many new engines, including these two characters. They were never named, but do have rather unique designs, of which we never saw in the TV series. There's also this red engine in the back, but no one cares about him, it's all about these two. Flying Thistle is one of the more slightly known magazine characters. He first arrived on Sodor as a visiting engine. However, many of these Sodor residents didn't think he was actually real. Probably because he's an A3 that isn't Scotsman or Gordon in Preservation era. Flying Thistle arrived to run a long disused express line. Eventually, he broke down while running this new express line, and was helped up by Donald, and then cheered up by Gordon. That's kinda it for the story, but for some strange reason, and I have no idea why, there were illustrations of him with and without a face. I have no idea what happened here. I'm guessing it's probably like a coloring book or something, but these do exist. I have no idea why, but they just add to the mystery of this character. Very strange indeed. Carols on Wheels is a strange one. In the story, Thomas sees Caroline making a Meals on Wheels delivery, before learning that a carol concert is cancelled due to bad weather. Thomas remembers Caroline in this instance, and has a truck converted into a mobile stage, and the show goes on. This is kind of funny to me, since it just seems so out of pocket. Like, yeah, let's take a truck, rip off his sides, and give him a roof, and put a bunch of carolers on it. It's very impractical and arguably kind of dangerous, but it's still pretty funny regardless. The Tiny Blue Engine is a character with, well, no character really. In their namesake story, James is taking the Hat family children to a water park, and he encounters Peter Sam, of which he says is too small to be useful. Eventually, the engines encounter the Tiny Blue Engine hard at work on a miniature line, which I assume is at the water park. And Peter Sam is like in your face at this moment, as it proves that engines even smaller than him can be useful still. That's kinda it for this, not really much else to say here. The Best Bus is a character from his namesake story that could actually work in a TV series with a little alteration, I feel. In the story, Thomas finds that a double-decker bus is waiting at the station instead of Birdie, and finds that it's been more successful than Birdie has been, and the threat of Birdie's replacement looms, until Thomas meets an old ship captain and talks about it. The ship captain talks about how it's going to rain soon, and the new bus has an open top deck. And when it starts to rain, everyone starts getting soaked. That is, until Birdie comes along and gets everyone out of the rain. I'm surprised this wasn't really a topic touched on in the TV series. Birdie possibly being replaced would have given it some more development. It would have made a nice change of scenery too. Pretty cool story. Annie and Clarabelle's old friend is a simple one. Annie and Clarabelle know of an old coach that is said to be scrapped, and are sad that they can't save him. However, Thomas's crew pull some strings, and with Tom's help, convert him into a tool shed at the allotments. I don't know what the allotments are, just what the story says. Regardless, this character was never given a proper name and only appeared in this story. Weirdly, this character actually sums up most of these magazine characters. Very flat and pretty much non-existent. They hardly do anything beyond just one story or even one illustration. But that's the beauty of these magazine characters. Their blank slate allows us fans and creators to build upon their designs and circumstances and give them new life and new original stories. Many in the fandom have done so already, and are still doing so with more of these niche characters. That is why I love them. It allows creativity in the fandom to flourish. And that's a lot of the characters we had to cover today. These are definitely not the only ones in the magazines. There are quite literally, I think, hundreds at this point. Considering how the Thomas magazines have been going on for years, I think many of them are still ongoing today too, which is crazy. So I might make another one of these videos. Who knows? I don't have any much updates right now, so I'll just get into the outro. Thank you all very much for watching, and I shall see you all same time next week.